In February of 2024, Rocksteady Studios released a much anticipated follow-up to their Batman Arkham series, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and its reception was what an EA executive would describe as constructive.
That's a euphemism for not as positive.
I am one of the 12 people who couldn't wait to see how awful the game actually was, but almost instantly after the credits rolled on the game, like many people, I had decided to go back and play every single entry in the series to see how well each one holds up today. Join me over the course of 7 videos, baby! Welcome back to this one, motherfuckers. Come on, you didn't think I'd forget about this clusterfuck, did you? Gotham Knights, I mean, wow, what a shit show this game was, right? Everyone thought this would be a big return to the Arkham style of games and continuing a story right after the death of Batman in Arkham Knight, and I mean for good reason as well, because it was from the people that made Arkham Origins. And sure, it wasn't the best game, but times have changed, developers changed, and we're all about giving the studios a second chance, even if they are corporate owned. So let's get right into it. Gotham Knights, you know, I got this game pre-ordered as well. I'll spout on about not pre-ordering as much as the next person, but there are some games or franchises that most people will break that for. Star Wars is the franchise for me, but any game that has the potential to be incredibly bad is one that I will pre-order in a near heartbeat. Suicide Squad was only the second time I pre-ordered a doomed DC game. Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights was the first, and what a time that was. There was genuine hope going into this game, you know. I'm not sure if you remember, but there were people who were genuinely hopeful that Gotham Knights could restart a new era of Arkham games that could rival Spider-Man. Those people were idiots because one look at the gameplay and you could see what was going to happen. But bless them, I can't be mad because I was like that with Battlefront 2. Let's go over the premise first. Batman is dead, but not Arkham Batman, a different Batman. A totally different Batman, not voiced by Kevin Conroy, just so you know it's a different Batman. And he's been killed by Old Man Ra's al Ghul. Why did Batman die? Why was Old Man Ra's al Ghul there? Why are they taking the best Batman story written in the 2010s and putting it in a video game? Well, that's for Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin and Red Hood to find out together as a dysfunctional Bat family. It's a new type of Batman game, and you know this because they didn't get any of the voices for the villains in the game, and they all sound really weird.
Was it too much to ask for you to visit earlier?
Before I rip apart the plot holes, let's talk about the characters you play as. Dick, Babs, Tim and Jason. Good, solid choices, honestly, and I'm all for different characters having different play styles, and it also does give the sense that whilst Batman is the all-round tank that each of the 4 have taken one aspect and really improved on in a way that Batman couldn't, the problem is that only one ability from each of the characters is any good, and the rest fucking suck. I remember playing the game back when it first came out, and other than the bugs, I found that the characters were all slightly useless at everything except the one thing they weren't. That would be fine if it was a 4-player co-op game, and I had 4 friends that wanted to buy and play the shitty game. But Gotham Knights is only a 2-player co-op game during the story. You can't play as all 4 of the characters during the actual story, which is just insane! Why are you giving people 4 playable characters if you can't have a 4-player co-op? It's one of those inexplicable design choices that really makes you wonder what the hell was going on during this development. Another one being, what's with the RPG gear mechanics? Why are the Knights constantly switching out their gear for identical gear that is somehow 3 times more powerful? I know the answer is padding for the game time, I know. I just finished playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, trust me, I know. But Gotham Knights doesn't even have any of the live service elements that are padding for the game time like Assassin's Creed has, because seemingly at the last second they decided not to do it, because they realised everyone hates that shit. Yet they left the RPG system in because they probably spent way too long on it, and if they removed it people would realise they paid $70 for a 3-hour game. These RPG gear systems annoy the shit out of me, and I beg AAA developers, stop putting them in your games, please. They're just the worst. Anyway, there's a lot more bullshit game design choices in Gotham Knights, but they're not worth my time to think about again. I will say though, the open world was really empty, wasn't it? No Riddler trophies, and only some weak-ass random crimes and encounters. I really like the idea of continuing time with the Belfry Hub during the day and fighting crime at night. I just don't think that idea was fleshed out enough, and it really hurt the game when it came to the open world because there was just nothing to do. The little gang crimes are kind of pathetic and don't really serve to do anything, and it gives the game a cancelled live service feel, which I think would make it the fastest live service to be cancelled if it was cancelled mid-development. I'm not going to talk about the story because, honestly, a quarter of hours were wasted in this game. The Ra's al Ghul storyline should have been a way to introduce Damian Wayne and kick his ass rather than leading to the Court of Owls. But they needed to have a story everyone liked to get people's interest, so I guess just fuck one of the better Batman stories of the 2010s. I think the League of Shadows, or Assassins, or whatever they're called in this game, killing and then resurrecting Batman as their puppet, has real potential, but it was just incredibly obvious that the final boss would be Batman. Don't get me wrong, it was cool and thematically relevant to the whole legacy of Batman thing, but without Damian Wayne as a proto-Batman, that is fully controlled by the League of Shadows, the entire thing is just a dud. It just kind of ends, doesn't it? Batman comes back, you fight him, he blows himself up a second time because of reasons, I guess. Then everyone just fucks off into repeatable missions, and you punch a guy dressed like Mr. Freeze, but isn't Mr. Freeze, and then the game ends, because there isn't anything left to do. Can anyone really be shocked at how bad Gotham Knights turned out, though? Really? I don't want to dogpile too much on Warner Montreal, but when you look at what they've made, do they really have the experience or knowledge to be able to craft a game of this scale? Arkham Origins was too much for them, and Gotham Knights is quite literally 4 times the size of it, because they added in 4 new characters, and they didn't even have the fallback of Rocksteady doing all the work of them with the moveset. Except, the more I think about it, the more I really think about it. With the gear, and the 4 playable characters, and the live service open world. Gotham Knights was never really meant to succeed as a game, was it? Let's be honest here. Warner Montreal's last game, Arkham Origins, was essentially a stepping stone for both Warner and Rocksteady before the release of their next proper game. Why are we not thinking Gotham Knights is any different? The different traversal options of the Knights, the looter-shooter gear system that doesn't fit a game like Gotham Knights, the way the map feels like it's waiting for a live service content with only a few major bosses and factions. It's almost like it was just a testing ground for how to structure the content of a live service game. Are Gotham Knights and Arkham Origins and Warner Brothers Games Montreal as a whole just pawns in the machine, where Rocksteady uses them as a support studio to test mechanics and Warner uses them as a money machine? And I've been too harsh, too critical to the corporate slosh they've put out? Probably, but I don't really care. At the end of the day, there are talented people at the studio getting a paycheck, and these games genuinely do suck ass. There are flashes of originality in both, but they're so few and far between and hidden under layers of open world corporate mandated guff that I can't bring myself enough to care about it.